Hello and welcome to Beer with Brian. I'm Brian, and today we're going to look at Big Timber's Hatchet Session IPA, India Pale Ale. And I'm recently becoming more acquainted with session beers, whether they be just session ales or session IPAs. But let's see what this sounds like in our trusty dusty new microphone. See, pretty fancy, huh? We're getting big here. All right. So the last time I had a session beer, it was just really pale. I kind of agreed with one comment where it said, "Why not just call it a golden ale?" There was no India IPA. There was no IPA about it. India Pale Ale about it. And this time we're going to see if this is any different. Well, that's promising. There's a really nice nose to it. So yeah, that's a nice, so at first it's a nice cross between an IPA and a session beer. Session beers are those which they're usually a little weaker tasting, a little paler tasting, I guess I would say. And then they're also less in alcohol. They have less alcohol by volume, less ABV. So we'll figure out what later on what this one rings in at. But so far it's tasting pretty good. Nice finish. Let's see what we have here. Oh, I love that. That's beautiful. Now it is really very pale, almost like a lager. A lot of times with India Pale Ales, they're more of a deep honey, amber, a darker yellow. This, I don't know if it's cloudy, and part of that is just because I've just filled it up, but no, it's very cloudy. You would be able to see through it by now, and as you can probably tell, there's no seeing through it at all. So now there's a decent sized head, and if you've watched these videos before, it's not my favorite thing to have a larger head on the beer because I don't want to have to fight through all that foam. But you want to kiss? The second taste doesn't impress me as much as that first taste did. The second taste is, the first taste was very IPA. It had a really nice flavor to it and that sort of thing. This one, not so much, not as much. Just kind of tasted like a much, much better version of Miller Lite. That's what I'm getting so far. So we'll drink some more of it and come back and tell you more about it. So it's been about 5 minutes from the point where I poured this, and you can see maybe the head hasn't really gone down. It's still very, very foamy. And I believe that I can make a judgment on this. It's a session beer. If you like session beers, you're going to love this. Let me read you the can. This small beer packs tropical fruit and dark citrus hops flavors, pardon me, into a 3.8% ABV package, which is kind of interesting because it used to be by law that beers in West Virginia and Greenbrier Valley, this is Big Timber, not Greenbrier Valley. Big Timber Brewing Company is here in West Virginia. It's up in Elkins, Randolph County. And by law, it used to be that you could only brew beer no stronger than 3.7% ABV. And so this is 3.8, so it's a little bit bigger. But it says, great to enjoy on those hot summer days and cool nights. Now, I will say this I agree that this would be great on a hot summer day because, the alcohol volume is very low. It's not a bad beer. It's very drinkable. has a great finish. I mean, in terms of how it interacts with your tongue and your mouth, especially this is nice and cold right now. And it's a very enjoyable beer to drink in that respect. It's kind of refreshing, actually, and I can see how on a hot summer day this would hit the spot. So if I'm going to work out in the yard on a summer day and I'm going to want some sort of beer to imbibe, great word, imbibe, then this is probably what I'll go for. Because it's not super heavy. It's tastes great, less filling, if you will. And it is something that it's not Miller Lite. It's not Coors Light. It's not Bud Light. It's not even Corona. And it's much more enjoyable, for me at least, than any of those beers. And it's something that I think that you might enjoy as well if you give it a shot. Now, I'm not sure where all Big Timber Brewing Company sells, but if you can't get it, then they come in 4-packs, 16-ounce cans, and I very much enjoy what they make. Their porter is one of my favorite. I had a porter today, one of my favorite beers. A little bit later, we're going to review their IPA and their October beer, which is out of this world. I've come back and I've tasted a little bit more. It really is very citrusy, and that's nice. It's a good sort of thing to have when you're enjoying a nice little refreshing beer. So thank you for joining us. By all means, come back again, hit that subscribe button, give it the big thumbs up, ring the bell so you get notifications every time we do a new video. And in the meantime, I'll see you next time on Beer with Brian.